saved my life.
Your concern should be for your home. And what has become of it in your absence?
A criminal organization headed by Danny Brickwell has been on a crime spree unlike anything since Al Capone.
We need help. We need it now.
I know where to find the canary. It is our home that is under attack.
No!
I guess we're even now.
Arrow, all new this Wednesday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
What's going on, guys? Xanax here today, and I just finished watching Arrow Season 3, Episode 10, also known as Left Behind. Indeed, he was left behind on that cliff after he got stabbed in the chest. But little did we know, he is not done for yet. So, at the beginning of the episode, we see how there's this new plot line and storyline with Brick and Diggle and Roy and Felicity, and they're all coming together because Oliver is obviously not there. He is supposed to be dead in Nanda Parbat, or wherever it is, on that mountaintop. So that's what happens for most of the episode. What happens near the beginning is a guy from Brick's crew gets caught. He gets caught trying to escape from stealing something, I presume, and he shot a cop too. He gets brought to court. Laurel does her thing. She gets him like one step away from going to jail, but they have to review the files, of course. And then we saw how Brick beat up one of his own guys, and Diggle and Roy then infiltrated that base, which nobody was there, but they found body remains for a guy who knew stuff about what the police were doing, and he kind of like ratted on him and like changed Brick's orders on what to do. So that happened. And once they found him out, they also found these numbers, and the numbers were representing case files and people that weren't on Brick's team, but they got caught in the glades and they did something wrong. And what happened was Brick and some of his team took all those case files, and this was a long plot for a while now. They took those case files, like it was being moved to like a warehouse, and those files got taken into like a van, and then I'll talk about it because the rest kind of happens at the end of the episode. So we have some filler stuff with the Atom suit and everything, and stuff happens, like he tries the glove or the gauntlet on, and it doesn't seem to work out that well. And then after he puts Felicity on the task to do the nano chip to try to get that working, but it doesn't work. So we also see Malcolm Merlyn and Thea, and she's pretty worried about Oliver because he hasn't responded to any of her texts, phone messages, or anything. And Malcolm Merlyn's pretty much job that episode was to check up what's wrong with him, or what's happening. And he goes to the mountaintop, figures out that Oliver Queen, he presumes he's dead, and then he returns to the Arrow Cave, if we'll call it, and he says that Oliver Queen is dead. He doesn't tell Thea that, but something else happens at the end of the episode with him, so I'll talk about that a little bit later. We saw a number of flashbacks with Masiu, or I don't know how to pronounce it, but him and Oliver had like 3 flashbacks during the whole episode, and they're all about trying to get that drug or whatever it is, the Alpha and Omega and all that stuff. And then later we saw Oliver and, well, we saw Maceo. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, Maceo. We saw him take Oliver's body, but the key thing, he was dragging Oliver's body like on one of those hammock things, and he was dragging his body, and then after, of course, it cuts to a commercial. But later on, what we see is he drags him to this door, he knocks on the door, and then after we see Tatsu, which is the girl with the white, the girl who was taken by the white-haired lady. We saw those in the flashbacks, but in present day, Masao and Tatsu were like fixing Oliver up, and Masao, who was in the episode with him, one of the flashbacks was whenever Oliver planted a GPS in the guy who took his wife, like one of her acquaintances, and he said, "I'll forever be in your favor." So that's whenever Masao turns over to Tatsu and after gives her Oliver's body to pretty much like fix to see what she can do about that. And after before that, actually, before I talk about that, we saw that Laurel, she was all alone after she talked with Diggle about Oliver dying and stuff, and she was all alone in the Arrow Cave, and she saw Sarah's stuff, the Black Canary stuff, and let's just say she took it for a test drive, and she went after two of the guys who were in Brick's new crew, but one of which was the one that she was going to put away to jail. She, like, chucks a suit on with the white hair, she throws one of those sound things to kill their ears, and then after pretty much beats one of them to death, and then after, she's like, "Justice will always be here," or something. And after that scene, we see Malcolm Merlyn and Thea. Malcolm Merlyn said that they need to leave town, maybe because the League was going after them next, because they knew it wasn't Oliver, or maybe Ra's al Ghul knew all along it wasn't him, and maybe he spared his life. But after this scene, we saw the flashback to where he said, "I'll forever be in your favor." That's what Masao said. And then after, we see Oliver. Oliver was in Tatsu's home, and he was getting fixed up, right? It goes a close-up on Oliver. Oliver wakes up. Oliver's alive. Yes, Oliver Queen is alive. Arrow is alive. He is not dead. He probably wasn't stabbed, like, enough. Probably one more would have done it, but he's not dead. Good. Happy. Everybody be happy now. Felicity, Diggle, none of them know that, but he is alive, so that wraps up this episode. We will see you guys on the next episode of Arrow, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and peace.